Welcome to the third video for Math in Focus, 4th grade, Chapter 6, Lesson 8, Problem Solving with Fractions. I made so many mistakes when I was making this video that I cut the last one off a little bit short, and we'll see if I can get through these problems again. So here's some problems we can work on together. Vincent spent 4/7 of his money on a pair of shoes. The shoes cost $48. How much money did he have at first? Now, I of course would like to label this as Vincent's money, and you can see that on this bar model, they've divided up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. And we know that the cost of the shoes was $48, and they were equal to 4 of the eighths. So it seems to me that if I took 48 and divided it by 4, I would know the 1, or the unit fraction. If I know what 1/7 is, I can answer the rest of the questions about it. So let's do some division here. Well, in the tens place, 4 times 1 equals 4, so we'll give 10 to every single one of those parts. And I can actually show my division here. I'm going to give 1 10 here, and 1 10 here, and 1 10 here, and 1 10 here. And that means I'm left with 8 single ones. And 4 times 2 equals 8. And you know what? I don't even need to do any more. You know that we're done because 4 times 2 is 8. I'm just going to stop working on that part and get those 2 single ones over here so you can see my division. Now that means that 1/7 is 12. So if we want 7/7, we would take 12 and we would multiply it by 7. Hello, multiplication and division skills that we've been working on all year. 7 times 2 is 14. I'll leave those 4 single ones there and bring my 10 back up to the tens place. 7 times 1 is 7, plus this extra 10 from the single ones place makes 8 tens. And so I can see that the amount he had at the end was 84. Now, to save time, I am not going to write all these numbers in here, but I am going to remind you again that Math in Focus likes to break it down super simple steps for you. If you're thinking a little faster, do not let this trip you up. Let yourself slow down. Nobody's recording you like I'm recording me. Now here's another one that takes that problem and turns it around again. Oh my goodness, they keep doing that. So good for your brain. Let's take a look. A pitcher contains a liquid mixture of water and lemon juice. The water makes up 2/5 of the weight of the liquid mixture. There are 25 ounces of water in the pitcher. How much lemon juice is in the pitcher? My friends, here's the mistake I made the last 2 times I recorded this. Been a lot of mistakes. I didn't label this, and I should have. These 2 boxes are the water, and these 2 boxes represent the lemon juice. So I have 25 ounces, and to figure out the 1, the unit fraction, I'm going to need to divide 25 by 2. And that may feel a little squidgy to you because, 25 is not an even number. We're going to have a remainder here. Let's see how we can handle this. Well, first of all, in the tens place, 2 times 1 is 2, so each one gets 10. And if I give 10 to each one of those fifths, then I'm going to take away 2 tens. So I'll do that quickly. That leaves me with 5. 2 times 2 equals 4, and will leave me with a remainder of 1. So that means each one of these has 2 single ones. Now, I hope you can see that we've got one left. But we've been working with fractions, so we can handle this. We could write this as 12 and 1 divided by 2, or 1/2. Now, it's hard for me to squeeze all this in here on the screen, so I'm just going to write these down here and hope that you can forgive me. Every one of these boxes is 12 and 1/2. So to find out the lemon juice, I would need to multiply 12 and 1/2 by 3. For me, I'm going to break that down into whole numbers and then fractions. So 12 times 3 equals 36. If you needed to do that with long multiplication, that's fine. I'm going a little faster for the video. But now I've got to do 1/2 times 3. And to think about this, I'm going to say, well, if I have this 1/2 and this 1/2, if I put them together, they'll make 1 and 1/2 right here. So I'm going to take 36 and add 1 and 1/2 to the 36. And 36 plus 1 is 37, and 37 plus 1/2 is 37 and 1/2. And if I took this number and wrote it into this little tiny box, I would have my whole sentence. The weight of lemon juice in the jug is 37 and 1/2 ounces. Do you see how many steps there are? That's why bar modeling helps us, because you can really break it down and do one step at a time. So now we're involving some subtraction here from whole numbers, which with subtraction we have more than one way of looking at it. So let's take a look first of all at what this young friend is telling us about Sally, and then we'll talk about Dante's problems together. Sally had 18 stamps. She sold 1/3 of them. How many stamps does she have? Well, we could do it as the whole thing minus 1/3 is the same as 3/3 minus 1/3. 3/3 is still 1. And 3/3 minus 1/3 is 2/3. She has 2/3 of her stamps left. These are the sold ones, and these are the left ones. Now, another thing that we could do is we could say, well, there are 3 units in 18, and one of them will be 6, and so 2 times 6 is 12. Golly, I think this is the one that I was just doing. They'll ask you to look at both methods, and they'll give you these examples on the worksheet. Follow along and see if you can see it from a different perspective. Up here they did 2/3 times 18. 2 times 18 is 36. And 3 times 1 is 3. And 36 divided by 3 is 12. So that's how she had 6 stamps left. But I sort of like it right here as getting those 6's in there. Just like me, you're probably going to have a favorite method. Let's try this one together. Dante had $50. He uses 3/5 of it to buy a jacket. How much money does he have left? Well, these 3/5, this is the jacket down here. This is his money. And let's see, this was $50 total. So now I've got to know what 1/5 is. 5 units, 5 of those boxes there is $50. And 50 divided by 10 equals, oh gosh, you guys, I'm sorry, it's actually divided by 5 because we're putting it into these 5 boxes. You already know that it's 10. You can see how my brain was going a little too fast there. And now if I want to know what 2 units are, I would do 10 times 2. And that would give me 20. So he has $20 left. I like that method. I like drawing it out like this. Let's look at method number 2. They say let's figure out 3/5 of 50. And to do that, we would put 50 over 1. Now 3 times 50 is 150, and 5 times 1 is 5, and that would be the same as 150 divided by 5. Well, if I was doing 150 divided by 5, I'd write it out like this, and I would get 5 times 3 tens, no hundreds, would be 15 tens. Sorry if these zeros look a little bit like 6's, I apologize for that, and that would leave me with nothing. No single ones, but I have to put that 0 there to make sure it's in the tens place. Golly gee, I like this way better. Pick your favorite. Oh my goodness, you guys, there's so many different ways that we can work on fractions with word problems. But for me, it's the bar models that are saving me every time. Draw, draw, draw. Now, I'm going to put a picture of this reminder list of steps onto the assignment so that you can come back to it as you draw your bar models. Please draw the bar models. They are not optional. Learning to draw them is part of this assignment. You must draw bar models. And if you turn work into me that has answers and math but no bar models, I will return it to you and say, go draw the bar models. So honestly, you're going to have a way easier time with me if you will just draw your bar models. There are about 15 problems on pages 175 to 182, and this is your assignment for the whole week. There is one more lesson in chapter 6. It's working with fractions and line plots, and I'm going to offer that as extension for anyone who wants to do it. I recommend it for everyone. If you finish this work before Friday, and you've worked for about 45 minutes to an hour each day, and that includes watching my videos. So maybe you watched all these on Monday and you did some problem solving on Tuesday and Wednesday. If you finish early, definitely do the line plot questions. They'll be on the test as extra credit, but that means if you make a mistake in one place, you'll be able to have some extra points in another. So everybody should be pushing into that math extension for all. And if you need even more than that, this week I'm making sure that you have the extension work for fractions. This is a great time to push in to Chapter 6 enrichment work. The Grading Master will also be on this assignment in Google Classroom. You'll have a link to it. And if you get lost or stuck, please watch the video or videos. Use your fraction bars. Now on that seventh one, it won't help you so much. So that's why you need to be ready to draw those bar models. But if you need to draw other pictures, if you need to use those manipulatives, please get them out. It's not cheating. It's wise and smart math learning. If you need more, contact your teacher during office hours. Guys, I love playing math with you. There are going to be so many mistakes here. But mistakes, they're like the most essential, powerful part of learning. You're allowed to make them, and we want to help you with them. So don't freak out if it gets hard. That's expected. Just get with us, and we're going to help you through it. I have a lot of faith in you as a mathematician. So let's give it a try and have some fun. Bye-bye for now.